Okay, hello everybody. Just want to go over the final project. I've made a couple of small adjustments, given you some more time, and added in a very small opportunity for you guys to get some feedback before your final submission. Okay, so let's start with the final submission. I bumped back the due date to May 3rd, which is a Monday before midnight. Make sure you get these submitted before then. You will not receive credit if you turn it in late. So focus on getting it in a full day early so that you don't get messed up by that. Okay, I've decided that you can pick the medium of your choice for your final submission. Your choices are a scientific poster, a lab report in the classic IMRAD format, story map, or a 5-minute video presentation that you record. So I've got some guidelines here. Whatever medium you choose, make sure you're covering these 3 things. Right at the top, clear, updated project statement that accurately describes your analysis and your results, even though this is spelled wrong. Make sure the explanation of your work is very clear and easy to follow, and really absolutely make sure that it's clear what you did and what someone else did. It's very easy to find a lot of information, finished maps, analyzed data on ArcGIS online. That's not going to cut it. You need to demonstrate to me that you did analysis and created something novel, something that's uniquely yours. A complete and thorough discussion of data and analysis uncertainty, the limitations of your analysis, what aren't you including, what weren't you able to include because the data doesn't exist, what changes did you make to the data to make this work, limitations of the data itself, it could be temporal, it could be quality, gaps in the logic of your workflow. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with it, but it might mean that you just aren't it's not a complete analysis. Maybe there's a statistical test you'd like to do, but you don't have a high enough number of observations. Talk through all of those things to show me the maturity of your spatial thinking and awareness. And then just, keep in mind that no matter how you present it, it should be a complete summary of your project. Make sure that you include very effective and cartographically edited professional images to support your methods and results. I've got a list here of what I'll be looking at for grading, but I want to let you know that how well your project statement aligns with what you actually do is a huge part of what I'm going to be looking at. Second, a very clear explanation of your analysis, including, what did you do versus what had already been done when you got your data. And 3, that, like I said, the complexity of your uncertainty. To a certain extent, the rigorousness or complexity of your analysis, but that's lower than the first 3 things that I mentioned. Okay, so like I said, that's due May 3rd for everybody. Let's go back to the assignments here. I'm giving you an opportunity, and this was already on the calendar, to submit a draft. And the way you're going to do that, I guess this submission draft should be the discussion board. Because what you're going to do is submit a link to a web page that houses your final product, your draft of your final product, whatever form that needs to take. And then you're going to have a week to turn around and provide feedback to 2 of your classmates. And I'm going to assign those because I want to make sure that you're kind of working with people who are doing a similar type of analyses or are approaching things in a similar way. So again, late submissions for these drafts will not be accepted because everyone needs to have a full week to turn around their feedback. If you submit it late, you're just going to miss the boat on this one, and there's no way to make up the points. So again, this one is due April 19th. It'll be to a discussion board, and make sure you get it in by midnight on that night. Okay, and again, at the top of your web page, clearly state your problem statement. I'm going to fix this about the undergraduate or graduate because I'm going to be assigning them. Okay, so here's some things that you can follow, what you should have up there. And then finally would be the feedback assignment, which is basically the same thing. But like I said, you've got a week to get it done. This is the discussion board, so they'll both basically be here. Okay, so you're going to post in your thread who you are so that your critiquers can find you, state your project goals, and then provide a direct link to the web page that has your final project on it. If it's a story map, great. If it's a report, just make sure you've got a link to the Word doc or the PDF there. Make sure it's editable. Let's see here. Video presentation, you'd have to upload it as an MP4 or something like that. So there are different ways to do that, and we can talk about those things. If you want to, and also make sure everything that the person would need is published and available for them to see. So first of all, you're going to upload that stuff by the first due date, the 19th. Then that week, you're going to scroll through and find your assigned projects or people. You're going to very carefully consume and ingest them. And then address the following. Are their methods clear and easy to follow? Do the methods and results address the project goals that they've laid out? Is it clear what the analyst did with the data? Like, what did the data look like originally, and what was subsequently done to it? What's their work and what was somebody else's work? Make sure that that's clear for them. And are the maps and figures clear and complete? So remember, this is designed to help you. It's designed for you to help each other. So if you're just being positive and complimenting, that doesn't help anybody. Your eyes are meant to be an objective set of eyes. It's not about criticizing. It's about offering suggestions to help the analyst develop their intent and make their intent more clear and obvious for the viewer. So to be constructive, think of the author's intent. What are they trying to convey? And then offer suggestions for making that communication easier. That's really challenging to do and is going to take some thought and time, but you won't receive credit if you're just complimenting them on their color choices, on their symbology and things like that. It's fair enough to give positive feedback, but that substance has to be there for full credit, okay? All right. That's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm just going to go back here and talk about the deadlines one more time. So you've turned in the analysis update. I hope that you will get in touch with me and meet with me one-on-one. It can take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big time sink, but we can just brainstorm, troubleshoot, whatever it is. Okay, then you'll be submitting a draft of your final thing on the 19th. That's in 1 week, people. You've got 1 week to get a draft pulled together. Then you have 1 week to turn around the feedback for 2 classmates that I'll assign to you. And then you have, that's due April 26th, and then you have about a week to turn around any feedback that you get and polish up your final submission. Okay? All right. Questions, let me know.